just a review of how we're going to play Contraband on the Rune side, I think is what we've started calling it. Pretty much what it is, we're going to break the map down to the left side, the beach, over here. Typically choke point being around this area because this is the smallest choke point that you can hold them to at this in this area. And then you have the middle, which is the bridge here. We're not going to be playing this most of the time. Typically, we're going to let them actually come all the way through the center and then either come out left this way or come out right this way. So we're actually breaking this down into mid-left and mid-right player at the moment is what we're calling them. Mid-left player usually playing from inside the building here, looking down the actual hallway here so we can actually shoot anybody coming from the beach side as well as anybody coming from the bridge itself. And then mid-right player typically playing from all the way in the back, and he has a line of sight. Anybody coming around the right side wall here out of the center from the bridge, but he can also pick players off that come through the right side, this area, and actually come out into the center from here, because at times we're going to be letting them actually do that. And then we have the right side, which can be played from as far back as here, shooting them once they come out of this, actually looks like labeled storage, shooting them when they come out of storage, or even playing from within storage inside, as far as up as you really like, probably no farther than this most likely though. But basically you're locking on the right side. You want to make sure that they can't come out of here and start flanking our players either in the center or behind us. So last time Cruiser played this really well, and I believe this is the footage for it, so I'm going to let it play here just so you kind of have an idea of where all these positions are, where everybody's going. Alright, so you've got your two beach players here. Typically you're going to have one guy that's more holding, kind of like being more the guy that's just holding the line. He's not going to be so much in their face, changing up the angles on them too much. He's just kind of holding this position. And there's a good angle right here where Kyle's playing. And you cut off the entire beach side from here. You can play it a little farther up and give yourself some cover. Only thing you should be aware of if you're up here is don't come up to the actual wall, or at least don't expose yourself to the center here, because anybody that's coming around the corner here will have a shot on you. So you have to be careful kind of what you expose. So you have one player kind of holding the line, and your other player is more of an instigator. He's going to help shoot inside. There's a good angle right here actually where he can focus more on the inside angle. People coming from the water here, the tunnel here, or coming from this way, and he can kind of focus more on those guys. I know Kyle was playing over here one game and he was getting really creative, which we can do, and he was playing as far up as like out here in the water and picked a couple guys off and then came back real quick. Basically it's a two-man job. One guy kind of holds the line while the other guy more just kind of instigates and supports the other beach player. So we'll probably end up calling it just left and left support, or beach and beach support. Your mid-left player, as I was saying, he's inside this building. I'm not sure if this is labeled or not. Depot, maybe this is the depot, I don't know, but we'll label it eventually. But this is kind of your mid-left player, and I mean, you can get a little creative, but honestly this is more of a win your gunfight kind of area, and they're going to be coming out again from the bridge or from the beach side, and you just light these guys up as they come around the corner. Your back player, or mid-right player, Solar's been playing this a lot, and he really likes this spot on top of the rock, which is a good spot. There's also another one right here though as well, where you actually, this is pretty much the view that you would have. You're kind of covered by all the foliage on the wall here. It's really hard for them to see you. And again, it's a good line of sight on both the mid-right area where they're coming out of the bridge, and also if they're coming out of here. This spot right here where I'm playing this particular match, this is going to be your utility player, your Overwatch player. Typically, I play this angle, or some kind of angle where I'm covering this inside right area, but I'm not always going to be playing that. Since it's not exactly necessary, since let's say I wasn't playing that position and they do come through this area, they're not actually able to do any damage by coming out here, because our back player or your mid-right player is going to be picking these guys off. Even if he came all the way across here, your other mid-left player should be able to pick them up anyways. So at times, your utility player will be getting these kind of kills, but in general, I actually kind of just more instigate the other team. Let me fast forward this and see if I can get some footage of this. But I'll actually move around. Like here, I'll change my angle up. I'll do the same thing, but change my angle up. But there are times where I'll actually go inside the kind of the right and help right out. I'll push up into the center where the bridge is. There we go. Now I'll change it up. It throws people off a lot because they're not expecting that angle. And then I'll come up here at times. Again, this is kind of an instigating position. You're a utility player, so you're not stuck in a role or a position. There's lots of different things you can do. I believe next I'm going to go out to the bridge. I'll even come out. Here we go. In the times you can even come out left like this, and then you can really throw their angles off because they're definitely not expecting you to be this far up the map. So the reason I'm going over this position so much is because this is a more complicated position. You're not stuck in a role. Your job is to fill positions that need to get filled and to kind of instigate the other team, make sure that they don't really have a firm grasp on where our lines are or where we could be. The last player is the right player. I believe Cruz was playing this match. Here we go. This is actually a good example of us playing a little farther back. Looks like it's a straight team playing out here. But Cruz is going to play anywhere from up in the actual storage room, shooting down this angle, shooting inside, letting them come through the doorway, all the way to playing more of an angle where we're lighting the other guys in the team up when they come out of the actual exit here. I don't really care how you play it, just your main priority is making sure they don't come out of storage and behind our lines, obviously. One other big thing I didn't really go over with your mid-left player. This is actually the guy that's going to make fills for right. If right goes down, basically all he's going to have to do is turn and then look this way, and he's got the right side entrance covered. He's the quickest fill to do this. That's why we're having him do that. Plus, as the utility player, which I was playing this game, I can get myself in a position where I can cover this easily. For instance, if I was playing back here, which is usually where you're going to be playing, it's just a simple, quick turn, and I've got it covered. We can even cover mid, left from beach side if we absolutely have to, and you can just step down and look this way real quick. So that's pretty much it, though. We have two beach players. Again, you have one player that's more of the main beach player, and then a kind of a beach support player. Mid left, who's responsible for this alley right here, and players coming from both the bridge and the beach. Then you have your mid-right or back player, who's responsible for players coming out of the right side. Actually, as you can see, he's lighting these guys up. Players coming out of the right side of the bridge here, or also coming from this area as well. Your utility player, which we kind of went over, floats everywhere, fills positions, instigates the other team. And then your right player playing in storage. Again, that's kind of a real brief, quick run through the map. But I think that should at least give you a good idea of how we play it. And I'm sure we'll have more videos in this in the future. Anyways, that's going to be it on this video. We will catch you on the next one.